What a wonderful world.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Real. I just had my first live show, which was so freaking crazy. Or I guess it wasn't really a live show. I don't know what to call it. It was a panel, it was a podcast. I had it at Energy. I don't know if you guys know what that is or have ever heard of it, but it's this amazing like event space / workout studio. It can kind of like be whatever you want it to be. And I've known the founder for a while just from going to their events, and finally it was my time to shine. So we were planning it for months and it finally came to life, and it was just so cool and so rewarding, and I'm so grateful for everyone that bought tickets. We're going to do them again, so if you weren't free or didn't know about it, we're going to do more on different topics. We're going to do more on mental health, on relationships, and just have different experts from all walks of life come together and give us advice. And it's kind of just an open space to talk about how we're feeling, talk about the things that we're going through. And yeah, I don't know. It was really cool, really rewarding, and my outfit absolutely slayed. House boots, if I may say so myself. I literally can see straight into my neighbor's apartment, and it feels very invasive. And they always have their windows open, and I kind of feel bad, but that they also did that. Like, I'm literally looking into their bedroom right now, and it's a bit distracting. Anyways, I was literally napping on this couch today. Like, I've been putting off recording. It's Tuesday right now. The episode comes out tomorrow. So this is literally me yesterday when you guys listen to this. I don't know why. I guess I just have been, after the event, I was having, obviously, like, I was stressed. And then I just think after I got like tired and like wanted to just crawl into a ball, you know? So I did that. I was crawling into a ball, but we're here, we're recording. And today we're going to be talking about a couple different things, but mainly we're going to be talking about the struggle of being single, the struggle of sometimes bad habits dying hard, and what I've been going through in my dating life. And we're not going to talk about specific people because, you know, we don't do that. Even though, oh my God, guys, literally, why do I always have a story about this? Like in the beginning of the episodes, I had like one of the people, we'll call him Sneaky Link because he's current Sneaky Link, I feel. Most common current Sneaky Link. I'm not a juggler. One thing about me, I'm not much of a juggler. I can't be having multiple Sneaky Links. I can have multiple like situations, but if I'm like consistently hooking up with someone, it's just them. I also don't need to be like, I can't handle all that, you know? I don't know. And maybe that's just being a girl. Like, maybe that's just girlhood, that we just like can't handle more than one situation, but I can't. But he doesn't want to date me, and I think he hates me. No, he does not hate me, but he's not like in the headspace to date. It's like very obvious. So I'm dating like outside of that. So it's like a very weird situation because I'm dating I'm dating people, but I'm not hooking up with them, and I'm hooking up with them, but I'm not dating him. So it's a very sticky, interesting situation. But he reached out to me and he was like, did you like make a podcast or something about me? And I was like, no, I literally been having guests on the podcast. Like, when could I even have talked about you? But it turns out it was a TikTok, and it indeed was about him. So yes, there's that. But I'm like, most of the time it's actually not about the person. But he was not wrong. I'm like, who are the spies? Who are you guys? Who's listening? And why are you, you're supposed to be on my side. You guys are supposed to be on my side. So why are you telling my Sneaky Links that I talk about them? You girlies are like little gossip queens, but it's okay because like I am too. So I like get it. But also like, you know, the secrets are supposed to like live here so that we can like chit chat because this is the girls' room. Wait, what is my sister saying? Sorry, that sent late. Oh, my sister is in Florence right now. I'm literally so jealous. Also, this is like going to be a non-edited episode. Like, we're just going to like literally hang out and chit chat. Not that it's always like that, but I'm really going to not edit at all, mostly because I'm lazy and tired, but also because we're just doing like unhinged, unedited talking to you guys. Yeah, my sister's in Florence. I am so fucking jealous. Like, I studied abroad there. Obviously, you all know because I make it my personality, which is so fine and so acceptable because if you studied abroad in Florence, you will too make that your whole personality for the rest of your life. It's a disease. It's a disease and I can't claim it. It's just like, it is what it is. Oh no, I just got lipstick on my Beyond Yoga sweatshirt. That is so unfortunate. It's a disease. And I'll never be healing from it. I love it there. I miss it there and I want to go back. So that's just too bad. I wanted to get into our topic for today and then we're going to do Q&A because I let you guys answer questions. Also there was one other thing I wanted to say. If you guys have been watching Love on the Spectrum, I watched it a while ago. I already did watch it, but that is also something that has become my personality. Like, I am so obsessed. I'll direct you guys to another podcast to listen to after this. Heather McMahon did a podcast with Tanner and Connor from Love on the Spectrum, and it was so good. I think they could sit there and say nothing and I would consume the content because I love them. They're endearing and adorable and it's just so interesting. Like, I don't know if this is weird, but I just kind of love looking into other people's ways of life. Like, I really like seeing how other people live and how their differences affect their day-to-day life, not in a bad way, just in a different, just different. And so I don't know, that show is very on brand for me and it's just so interesting to me. And if you haven't watched it, definitely watch it. But I tell everyone about it. I just talk about it like it's my whole personality and I love it. I literally follow all of them on social media, but Heather McMahon did a podcast with them and it was so, so good. So I literally made a note in my phone to tell you guys to listen to it because it's just adorable and she deserves all the streams and downloads for having them because they're just the best and they're icons and their moms are icons. I'm obsessed with their moms. Connor's mom is so adorable and I want to be her friend. Anyways, I made some notes in my phone about what some thoughts that I've been having with dating lately and just things I've been going through and some tips that I've kind of gathered along the way. And when sometimes you know everything logically, what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. But the problem is when it comes to dating, when it comes to having a crush on someone, when it comes to just anything in that realm, I feel like all of my logical knowledge goes out the window and I just end up doing what I want to do. And we all have a friend that you've told them a million times a toxic situation that they need to get out of and they say they're going to listen or they say okay and you've talked to them about it a million times, but they're never going to actually listen. They're going to go back and do what they want to do. I just think it's ingrained in our brains. And I guess those are some things that I've been dealing with lately. It's as much as I tell my friends, I don't really talk about I feel my dating life that much with my friends because there's nothing really crazy going on at all. But just day to day, random things. I'm as many times as I can say I'm not gonna do something again, not go back to a toxic situation, whatever. I'm just like you. We're keeping it real here. I want to get a sign that says real back there. I'm never going to preach at you guys and act like I'm doing something differently when I'm not. I'm in a toxic situation. No, I'm not yeah, it's just not great. It's not great. And it's really hard to admit it when you're in it. But I think it's important to admit it out loud and also know, just be self-aware enough to know that it's toxic, even if you do keep doing it. Just to be aware and acknowledge it. Anyways, if I say anyways one more time, someone literally slapped me. The first one that I wrote down was date the person, not their potential. This is something I need to be reminded every single day. I think as women, we are just fixers. We are fixers. We love a fixer upper. We're oh, this apartment has great bones, And the same thing goes for men. I will look at a guy and be he's cute, he has a good job, close with his family, like good sexual chemistry. What else could I need? No, babe, he's emotionally unavailable. And you literally think that one day he's going to wake up and be available. And he's not. And it's very clear. Because if he wanted to be emotionally available, he would be. Like, so I don't know. I've just been going through that and having to continuously remind myself, like, you can't date someone with the hope of what they're going to be one day. Like, if they're not that now, just take that for what it is. Take the person for what they are showing you, surface level, right now. And it's a tough pill to swallow. It really is. Like, it's hard to look at someone and just be like, oh, face value, this is what you are, and that's what I'm dating. Because, like, you want to be like, oh, like, I don't know. I think there are certain things that you can like hope for. Maybe if the person is not like super like happy with their job or doesn't have like a really good job, and you kind of worry about that. And I know as women, it's like a factor, like it's something that we worry about. Like, I've had friends be like, oh, I'm dating this guy, but like his job isn't like great. And I can be like, well, you know what? Like, we're young. Like, how old is he? He will have a better job one day probably. Or does he have ambition? Like, does he have the desire to get a better job? Like, things like that I feel like are very like changeable, and that shouldn't affect a full relationship. I don't know, to me. But when it's things like emotional unavailability or just things when it comes to their character more, when it's just based off their character, those are things like you really need to take for what they are and be like, oh, this is what this person is. Not like, oh, but they'll change. Like, they'll change. No, you cannot expect a person to change. You can't, because what if they don't? You can hope for the best, but what if they don't? And it's something where I feel like you have to be a little bit like, not negative, just really realistic about it. So yeah, date the person, not their potential. That's the biggest thing that I've been having to remind myself every day. Freaking affirmation season. Date the person, not their potential. This is another one. Okay, I wrote down. If he's not bringing you around outside of home, he's not serious. Here's where I'm going with this. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but if he's just hitting you up late at night, if he's not like, I don't need someone who texts me all day, every day, but like, if he's not texting you, like, and trying to show, like, the other day someone said to me, I like can't, like, why do I have to like plan? Why do I have to make a plan? Because like, not everyone is just readily available for you. People have jobs, people have lives. And like, if you care to make an effort with a person, then you will plan a date in advance. You will text the person beforehand. Even if it's like, you just thought about it and occurred to you that morning instead of like literally an hour before. So that's one thing, just like planning ahead. And then the other thing is bringing you around outside the home. This is so, so important. Taking you out, not just being like, let's Netflix and chill. Let's like order in and like hang at home. That's fine after a few dates, but like for the first few dates, for the first like 4, whatever, I'm not going to put a number on it because like every relationship and situation is different, but there's got to be a period of time where like you have some formality, because otherwise then what? Like, I just feel like then it ruins that courting. And like, it is so important, especially for women, to be a little bit like courted in the beginning. Like, get wined and dine. I hate when I say this and guys think it needs to be something fancy. Like, it so doesn't. Like, I literally don't give a fuck. Like, I will be taken to a dive bar. Like, not that I really want that, but like even like, I love a good hole in the wall. Like, let's find a random hole in the wall in my neighborhood or your neighborhood or wherever and go there and just try somewhere new. Like a little mini wine bar that's for like happy hour. Like, it doesn't need to be a fucking Nobu date. Like it can be so simple as that. Just something that there's thought put into it and you can go and get to know each other outside of the home, outside of the apartment. So that's something that I wrote down in my notes for today that just has been on my mind. And especially, I know what caring looks like. I know what it looks like to want to court a person because I've been severely courted by guys. And it's funny because every time I'm like, I don't even like the person. So it sucks because it's like the people I do like, I'm like, I mean, I don't know, it depends. But I feel like in past situations, I've literally had guys like send me Uber Blacks to my house, pick me up, bring me to a destination, have like a whole surprise date, like different stops. Like I've had like guys like bring me like courtside, like crazy shit. And like, it doesn't matter though, because at the end of the day, if you don't like the person, you don't like the person. But yeah, like I've had crazy situations like that, and yeah, it's impressive, but I don't like the guy anymore after that. So it doesn't need to be something so crazy. I don't want it to be something so crazy. I think it actually puts more pressure on the situation, and it just feels more like, oh my God, like this is a formal like date, and like now I feel like I don't know. That's just how it feels to me. So if he's not bringing you around outside of home, he's not serious. I had to just come back to that because I was getting on a tangent, as I do. But yeah, with certain guys, they won't put the effort in. And if they're not putting the effort in, they're not worth it. So again, it doesn't need to be courtside. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. But they do need to show their interest in you and their effort. And that they took the time ahead of time to make a plan. Even if it's something as silly as walking down the street from your apartment, going to a park and having some wine. Like, so minor, you know? Next one. If he doesn't hear you out seriously, he doesn't care about you. This one sucked for me. And it's something that I've felt recently. Like, when you try to explain something to them, they're not listening or they're dodging the conversation. Like you try to be like explain how you feel about something. Like, for example, me saying like, just put in more effort, or like, just don't text me at fucking midnight. Like, just put in a tiny bit more effort, and then like dodging it or like changing the subject or like making a joke or just making fun of you. I love flirty banter, but there's a time and a place for it. And if you can never be serious and never be fucking for real, like that's a you problem, and you need to get that checked and you need to figure that out. Like, that's not a me problem. I'll go find someone that will hear me out and does care about what I have to say. So, just saying. Oh my God, I just got a Resi notification. Wait, we need to reserve it. Hey, there's this new place in my neighborhood called Little Maven, and I'm very excited. I just got a res for Friday. Me and Amanda are going, and I'm really excited. Yay. Don't you love when that happens? A little Resi notification surprise. That was lovely. Thank you. Okay. So if he doesn't hear you out seriously, he doesn't care about you. And I don't mean, I think there's a difference between like a person can respect me as a person, but not care about me in like a love sense, or care about me like want something serious with me, you know? There's a difference, and you feel the difference in your gut. Like, you know it. And so not being heard is really shitty. Probably the shittiest, honestly. It feels like such a fucking stab, especially after you would do anything for that person and you would listen to that person, and like you would, I don't know. Like it just knowing that you would do so much more for that person than they would for you. And they can't even fucking listen to you. It's crazy. Also, by the way, these are not all from current situations at all. These are just things I've collected over like years of relationships. I'm like, this is not about my situationship. Some of it might be, but not all of it. Yeah, these are little things that I've collected just over the years from different guys and different situations I've had. The ones that, of course, have like disappointed me. So, all right. Oh, and this is my next note is actually what I just said. I wrote down the other week a guy said to me, I respect you. And I realized you can respect me as a person, but it doesn't mean you will give me the treatment I deserve or need. Period. Like, again, you can respect me. You can respect what I do for a living. You can respect the person that I am, how I am with my family. You can respect all of that. But it doesn't mean that you're able to give me what I deserve and that you're going to bring that to the table. Like, do you even know what respecting me looks like? You saying you respecting me is different than respecting me and doing the things that I deserve. And that leads us into actually our final lesson of the day when it comes to dating, relationships, situationships. I just lost my train of thought. Fuck. I hate when that happens. Last thought. Actions speak louder than words. Like, seriously, if I could get this tattooed on my forehead, I fucking would. Actions speak louder than words. Every single time I've ever had a situation with a man, like, they could tell me one thing, and it's always like when you're in person with them, when you're with them, like, they'll tell you one thing. They act a certain way, like, whatever. They say they're going to do all these things. They say they're going to take you out. They say things are going to progress. But then what actually happens after that? Is he actually following through on his word? Does he really mean like what he's saying? So it's like someone can tell me they're obsessed with me, or like they could tell me whatever they want to tell me. But at the end of the day, it's their actions. It's like how they're showing up for you, and if they're even showing up for you. So yeah, just knowing like where you stand and what it is so that you won't get disappointed in the end, or if you do, you can at least rationalize it and know what it was all along. Also, my nail just flung off when I was adjusting the camera, so that's really great. But yeah, that is my little sum up of like relationship tips that I've kind of discovered over the years from different relationships, situationships, hookups, just different guys that have like kind of like disappointed me, or like, you know, just think it's not even a disappointment, because at the end of the day, I think everything is a lesson, even though like that's annoyingly positive of an outlook. It's true. It's like, you know what to not look for, and you can more easily recognize like toxic behavior when you see it. So I don't know. Those are just some things that I felt like if it's relatable for me, I feel like it's probably relatable for you guys as well. So I hope that that's a little bit helpful. Now I want to get into, because this is going to be it's kind of like a mini episode today, honestly. It's not going to be too long, but I want to go into some Q&A. I left a little Q&A thing on my Instagram, so I'm going to answer some questions. Number one question, and this is like all subjects. This was just an open Q&A moment. Okay. How do you deal with body image issues on vacation? Great question. My body image issues always spike the fuck up on vacation, like truthfully. I don't know if it's like being with family and being around other family members that have different body types. That could be part of it. I think it's also just like you want to look your best. There's more pressure to look your best on vacation, so you're extra hard on yourself when you feel like you don't. Outfits, I feel like I always have like a weird pressure to fit into certain outfits, or like if I ordered clothes and never tried them on and bring them on vacation, if they don't fit me the right way, it like really just feels like you've been shot. How do I deal with it? I think one, acknowledging like you're not going to feel your best every day. And also knowing going into a vacation, you don't need to have your dream body on your vacation. And like I every time I ever used to go on a vacation thought like I would months in advance be like, oh my God, fuck, I have this vacation coming up. I'm gonna have my dream body by then. I'm gonna have my dream body by then. Like over and over, this would keep happening. The cycle would continue. And like I never ever had my dream body in quotes. It was very rare. Maybe the one time when I was like not even a dream body, when I was literally had an eating disorder and everyone was like, oh my God, you look so skinny. And I was like, oh my God, stop, I eat everything. But I like had a full blown disorder. So that was fun. But yeah, I never ever had like my dream body, and it's not setting those expectations for yourself. Like why do vacations always revolve around body and not around like us having these incredible experiences with the people that we love? Like why is that? So I just reframed it. Like I reframed it and I was like, I lowered the like status of what my body was. Like I was like, okay, no. Vacation. Here's how things go. The number one most important thing is I'm in a different place, so I need to travel and see as many things as I can. That's number one importance. Number two importance, making memories with the people that I'm with, making sure that they're having a good time, I'm having a good time. Like we're all like bonding and like doing experiences together. And then number three is like my fits. Like I want my fits to fucking slay because like whatever. The fit's gotta slay. And then lastly, maybe your body image is something that you prioritized. I just started lowering body image on the totem pole, and it was definitely years in the making, but I feel like it's the bottom for me now. And also when you're ordering clothes, just bringing things that you know will either flatter you or that you'll at least feel comfortable in, like not trying to take any crazy fashion risks. Because I know with like body positivity, we always see people like, just wear the mini skirt, just force yourself to wear the mini skirt. Well, if that's going to make you feel bad, you can't really like force yourself to wear a mini skirt. You're going to be thinking about your body at the end of the day. So I'd rather wear an outfit where I'm not thinking about my body. Like it's not the forefront, you know? So maybe wearing a dress that's just a little bit looser and has like a nice like tie at the waist. So it gives me a waist. It's a little looser here. I'm not thinking about my stomach, and I'm wearing like a really nice shoe and a really nice bag, like except using my accessories to make the outfit trendy and fun. Just doing things that like wearing things that don't make your body the center of the outfit, because it really doesn't need to be that. Like some people can walk around and go on vacation and like do an outfit slay because their body is fucking slaying. But if I don't feel like my body is fucking slaying, or if I don't want to like feel like that, like I don't need to whip out my tightest bandage dress and like be posing. And you know, so I just think it's like body image isn't the forefront for me anymore. And that's where I think I don't think about my eating as much on vacation. Like my mood is better because then my body image isn't the forefront. Like it affects all these other things that are going on. So I think it's just an important thing to remember. And that's how I deal with body image issues when I'm going away. Sorry, I'm yawning. When I'm going away. What to do if an ex you got back in contact with ghosts you for a week? Feel that, honestly. Feel that so fucking hard. Just ghost them right back. I mean, until they text you again, you can answer, but I'd be short with them. And also, never be afraid to just, I'm not even taking my own advice right now, so I'm going to tread lightly. But it's like, if I could give the advice to myself, I would be like, don't be afraid to like put your fucking foot down. Like, why are you so afraid to put your foot down? And I know why. It's because you're afraid of losing the person. You'd rather have a piece of them, even if it's just the tiniest piece, than losing them for as a whole. But what I do think is you need to put your foot down and explain to them where you stand. And be like, you can't just have one foot in, one foot out. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, you need to figure out what you want. And until then, don't fucking contact me. You're either in or you're out. especially if it's like a relationship. Like it was an ex-boyfriend, not like an ex-situationship, like an ex-boyfriend. I'm going to go through one or two more questions. Let's see. How to not feel behind when all of your friends have been in relationships except you. I always just think like my friends that have been in all these relationships, like, were they successful? Are they still with the person? Is their current relationship successful? Are they married? Or are they just dating a lot of different people? Because to me, I'd rather go through less heartbreaks. If you're a one and done, like if you're just not, like if it just hasn't been right yet, don't force yourself into something where you're potentially going to get heartbroken. I'd rather have less heartbreak, you know? And I also have had friends that have never been in relationships before, had one relationship, and that was it for them. I just think everyone is different, and you can't compare your journey to someone else's because your journey is uniquely for you. So I'm not jealous of the other people that have had several relationships. Like, I don't want to kiss a lot of frogs, you know? I don't want to. I would rather, I mean, yes, like in one sense, you're learning lessons. But if I had the choice, I don't want to get heartbroken and hurt. I'd rather just get it right the first or second time. I've only been in one serious relationship in my life. And at this point, I'm like, I don't even know what it's like to be in an adult relationship. I was literally in high school and then a sophomore in college when it ended. I don't know. That's not even like an adult relationship. That's a college relationship. I've never been in a relationship outside of that. Do I have regrets or feel upset about it? No. Because the next time I get into a relationship, I want that to be it. And I'm not putting crazy pressure on it. I'm just like, I think it's better to not have gone through all those heartbreaks. So don't put pressure on yourself to get into something just to have the experience, you know? Because at the end of the day, those are heartbreaks. Those are mental health problems that you're going to have to get through. And I'm like, I don't want those mental health problems. I don't want to have to deal with that. Like, let me just like become my whole like best self and then meet someone when they're at their whole best self too. And your path is your path. Again, your life is uniquely yours. So don't look at someone else's and think that that's what you're supposed to be doing. There's no supposed to. There's no such thing. One more question. How to put yourself out there to make friends but not appear desperate or clingy in NYC. I mean, I think it's just having a good balance. Like, the phone works two ways, and remember that. Like, you reach out to them, they reach out to you. It should feel balanced. So if you feel like you're just doing all the reaching out, stop. Let them reach out then. It's like kind of like having like a guy. It's like the same thing, or any relationship. It's like you want things to feel even. It's like a seesaw. Like, it should continue to balance back and forth, back and forth. So for my friendships, at least, I feel like my most valuable friendships, my friendships at the forefront of my life, they all are an equal balance. It's like me asking, what are you doing? Them asking, what are you doing? Or at least if it's a long, long time friendship, you guys already know where you stand, so you don't need that exact balance all the time. Like, you can go through periods of kind of you reaching out more, them reaching out more, but you always know where you stand. But if it's earlier friendships where you're like, where do we stand? I think it's really important that if you're doing all the reaching out, to take a step back and let them reach out. Because if they don't, it's like, what does that say about them? That kind of says like, did they not prioritize you, not want to spend as much time with you? Are they relying on you for the plans? Like, I just think that's like an important thing to think about and to know. Okay, I know this was a short episode today. I am so sorry. Usually my episodes are an hour long, I know, but we're going to be cranking out two more episodes this week, literally, because then I leave for my trip to Spain to visit Chloe, which I'm so excited. Also, might be getting a house in the Hamptons this summer, which is some really exciting updates that I didn't say before. So look out for updates on that. And find me at Surf Lodge. Slaying. I'm very excited. But yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope that you're protecting your peace as much as you can. And make sure you follow me on Instagram if you don't already, Real with CW, and Carly_Weinstein. If you don't, what are you doing? And on TikTok at Carly Weinstein1 and Real with Carly Weinstein. And make sure you give this a 5-star rating and review. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe. Leave something in the comments below. And I love you guys, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.
What a wonderful world.